And for the moment I've all been waiting for. Oh, so what to do? All right, I already know a few things we got to do. So, a tragedy happened. I bumped my head when I was working on the plow here, and eventually what happened was the manifold fell. Now, you could blame my welds for it breaking, but I don't want to blame my welds actually, because it fell from like 3 feet up and landed straight on the corner and just broke. Like, talk about bad luck. So it is what it is. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to put it back on the tractor. I'm going to tack weld it in place, and then I'm going to take it and burn it in with the welder. I won't do that all on camera again for you guys to watch, so you've already seen that. And next time I burn it in with the welder, I'm actually going to preheat the metal in hopes that we might get a better weld, if you guys understand what I'm saying. When you guys actually brought that up, and I thought that was a really good idea, so we'll do that, but I'm not going to do that on camera here. I'll do that another time. But anyways, the next thing that I'm going to be working on here will be the rear wheel bearing on this and the radiator fan shutters. So the problem with these radiator fan shutters is it was sitting in a mouse nest, and mouse nests are full of mouse excrement, and that is very corrosive to metal. So I hope we can bring this around. I'm gonna have to kind of chip that up and vacuum as I go, but that's not a priority of mine at the moment. My priority is getting this rear wheel bearing set. So if you guys haven't watched the videos before, when I got this tractor was missing zerk up here, and it just is full of dirt, and unfortunately that bearing has probably just been getting destroyed. Well, we hope not, but you never know. I guess I'm not seeing any axle grease leak out of there, at least not too much. So I'm not super worried, but what I could do is I could just thread a zerk on there and pump it full of grease and call it the day. But the problem is there's so much dirt in there, and Lord knows how much dirt has gotten there before. I just feel bad dumping so much grease and dirt in there mixed together. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to jack up the tractor, take this wheel off, or at least back it up a little bit to just the end there. And then I gotta go around, I gotta loosen up all of these, and I gotta just inspect the condition of that bearing. If the bearing looks pretty good, just throw it back on, pump it full of grease, Bob's your uncle. But who knows, maybe the bearing is completely shot. So that's just the way it is, and that's how it's going to be. Now, if we go over to the left side here, there's another thing I got to do, and that is take off all this baling twine. It has just gotten really wrapped up on the wheel here. So I've heard that this kills, wheel seals, and well, you don't want that either. So I guess we'll cut that all up, and we'll see here. The fact that I might be working out a trade deal with this thing for a pretty nice car trailer, you might put a lot more work into this, because I like the gentleman a lot, and I don't want to screw him over on this tractor. So it's a good tractor, just needs a little love. And maybe a little paint too, but the patina kind of gives it a nice vibe. Alrighty, so turns out I don't have a 1-inch wrench. I know I have one somewhere, but I could not find it for the life of me. So just take the 1-inch socket, I suppose, and slide it on there. Don't get to use wrenches this go around, but that's okay. Guess we gotta be a little modern sometimes. Will it bust loose nicely, or will it be a pain? Oh yeah. See, I can get my impact, but where's the fun in that? Oh, there she is. When I got my Farmall H, I had to adjust the wheels in because they were adjusted a little bit out, and that was fun. Wasn't that bad, but it was my first time ever having to do it because I couldn't fit it on my car trailer otherwise. It is amazing that that H went on that trailer with the little problems it did give me. I mean, every time I have to squeeze something on that car trailer, it is a squeeze. Usually the rear tires are kind of press fit. Oh. But that's okay, it just means it's nice and secured. Now before we go any further, I want to see if these are filled with calcium chloride. The bleeder screw's on the top, so guess I won't really be able to tell. Can't remember. Oh well. Anyways, time to bust this wheel free. Oh, but wait. This other side has it in there. Unless it's low. Huh. Alright, well, I think it's safe to assume they both don't have it in there, especially considering they got wheel weights in here. And in my experience, people that put wheel weights on typically don't run calcium chloride or washer fluid, etc., etc. So unfortunately, with the way things are, I couldn't get a floor jack right underneath there, so I just have a jack stand on the rear drawbar, and she's free now. Now my goal here isn't to actually take the wheel off. I just want to back it off enough where I can go around here, loosen all these up and pull that back and kind of just sneak in there and look at the bearings and get a general idea. There's no point in taking this whole kit caboodle off with this limited space if I don't have to. If I have to, it's not a big deal. But yep, and I'm also just gonna leave that attached there so in case this fails, it'll catch it. Next thing's up here. I'm just gonna clean off this wheel as much as possible so it's super easy to slide. Hindsight, probably should have did this when I was on the ground, but whatever. Now a bunch of WD-40 just to make things simpler. Make her nice and slippery. Alrighty, I'd say now she's dialed, those screws are loose. She's pretty taut. Yeah. Oh, guess we're just gonna have to kind of bust her loose. Oh, I wonder how long you've been like that. Why is it when things get sketchy, there always seems to be a bottle jack involved? Get in there. A little bit more. There we go. Micro pumps at a time. Well, I just want to give a special shout out to Moron of the Year award to myself. I can't believe that went just, why won't it come off? It's a miracle I got it to budge. Oh. Oh, okay. Shout out to Icon wrenches. Dang. Oh, yeah. Sweet, sweet victory. Yeah. Oof, da me. Oh, just walk right on in here. Floor jack's still safe. All right, 9/16 bolts. Show me your secrets. Is this bearing chooched or is she just vibing? Sure hope it's okay. I gotta replace it, oh no, more YouTube content. Double-edged sword. Well, there's our bearing. And this poor bearing seal is probably just shot. But oh well. Well, there's our bearing. And this poor bearing seal is probably just shot. But oh well. And for the moment I've all been waiting for. I can't tell, is that dirt or is that just... Wow. Man. You see, I'm not a genius, but I don't think our ball bearings are ball bearing. In fact, if you look in there, see in the bottom of that bearing? Oh, no, I take that back. These are just the little ring that goes around the ball bearings. So they might be fine after all. I thought that was flat for a moment. But it is pretty dirty, but it's not like it's full of dirt type dirty. I don't know. I'll have to get a better look at this. Here's our grease zerk, or at least where it would go. Here's our seal. Yeah, it's doing its job. It's catching all the dirt. And I assume, like a lot of seals, it actually pushes it out. But yeah, you can definitely tell where that dirt's been scratching on the seal in the past. Oh, she's had a rough life. But honestly, I think it's still fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to pull this bearing out, but I do think it's fine. Kind of get in a good position here. It's hard for you guys to see on the camera. But pretty much all that I'm doing is I'm kind of checking the ball bearings, looking at all of them, making sure they're all fine. And so far, they do look fine. I don't see any significant pitting on them or anything. It's just a little dirty in there. So I think what I'm going to try and do is just go in here, clean it up to the best of my ability, and once it's all nice and clean, then I'll run some grease through here, press out as much dirt as possible, and I think it'll be fine. And the more I think about it, this is not like my 504 where the axles are lubricated by the Hitran or any gear oil whatsoever. This is different. Obviously these are just greasable bearings, they're independent from there. However, there might be like an axle seal somewhere that there definitely would be an axle seal. And over time it might leak a little oil in, but honestly, I smell no gear oil here whatsoever. So yeah, it's just dirty. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go in here, clean it up, bolt her back together, put a grease zerk on there, and she'll be dialed. And I'm glad I checked this, because if this was anything like the steering bearing up in the front, where we literally were just missing some ball bearings, well then I'd replace it. But honestly, I think after we clean it up, she'll be dialed. Alrighty, so I don't have any brake clean, but I own 2 Ford diesels, so I have my pay subscription to start my truck right here. So we're just going to use this to flush out the bearings. Yeah, I really just don't buy brake clean because I never really have a need for it. I guess I do more so now, but it's like I might as well just get ether. It's just brake clean with a little bit of lubricant in it. So it costs about the same. And I'm gonna need ether. I know that for sure. But we're just gonna flush out the bearings this way. Nothing super official. But it's better than doing nothing. I'll clean them out like this to the best of my ability, and then I'll seal it back up. Then we'll give her a bunch of grease. And then she should be dialed. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Wow, this shaft is just, you can hear my fingernails. The more I look at this, the more I'm like, wow. I thought it was just kind of greasy, but it was like muddy grease. So yeah, definitely a lot of mud and junk got in here. It's still good, but I mean, there has to be roughly a 5 to 10 thou taken off this shaft just from all the wear. This has got like a triple seal on it. And really, there's just not much we can do about it at the moment, because, I mean, this is a beater tractor, but I do plan on selling it or trading it to that one individual that I have respect for, so I really don't want to throw a piece of junk at him either. But I think what we're going to do for now is just continue cleaning this up to the best of my ability, and maybe next spring, actually, when the weather's nice outside. Lift one end up with the Farmall 504. Hopefully it'll be done. Prop it up on some jacks. Take this tire off and at least do this bearing. It's not too terribly hard to work. It's just time consuming. As well as replacing the seals in here. I think this is a double or triple seal, just judging by all the wear on the shaft, but oh well, I'm just glad we got in it when we did. All the work we did, it's not like we're hurting anything. We're just prolonging, essentially, inevitable failure. But these bearings still feel pretty solid. Could be worse. Not that worried about it. And thankfully, this gasket came off really nice. Yeah, in fact, it's still, it didn't peel off, so that's kind of good. So next up we're going to do here, I'm going to clean this surface up here. We're going to screw in a greaser, push out the rest of the greasy dirt junk, and then we'll bolt her back up and give her some grease that she needs. I mean, Lord knows how long this thing hasn't had grease, but it has been a hot minute. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those wheel seals are just completely shot, but you know what? It's fine. It'll be fine. Sorry, I didn't catch it on camera, but I did get the zircon in there, and I did notice that the casting was cracked in the front here, so this zirc just definitely got busted off, and they just didn't get around to fixing it, I suppose. But the bright side is, well, at least there was a bad reason to not fixing it. It's not like the threads were gone, but so it was fixable. It's just, I guess, laziness, but this tractor was definitely, whatever farm it was on, or business or whatever, is just beater tractor for probably snow removal or worse, manure tractor, so it's whatever. Anyways, just cleaning it up here with some kerosene just to kind of give it the final dabble, and then we'll get her all put back together, put a little grease in there, and life is good. Oh, and I am out of grease too. I'll dig through my truck. I might have some, but this might have to wait to get bolted on. All right, after messing with the grease gun forever, you know how these pistol grips go. Got some grease reloaded. I did have another tube in the truck, but this means I need to go buy more at the store. Not a big deal. Let's push all this dirt out. Hoping she'll take it. Oh yeah, look at that. All that junk, just pure dirty gunk. I'm just thankful that these bearings are gonna get something quality in them now. There we go. I really need to invest in a grease gun, like a Milwaukee, a battery powered one. Not saying the old pistol grip can't do it, but I just keep hearing people talk about them, and I really starting to get a little jealous. She'll do though, she'll do. All right, tighten these fellas on up. John Deere wrench, special guest appearance. Not really. This wrench is pretty handy though. Well, time to introduce this bearing to grease, which probably hasn't seen in the better part of a few decades. You can tell I'm definitely using the wrong size grease fitting on this. Alright, so I guess we really don't have a problem. I think it's just my tool. It's not really chucking up on here tight, and it's letting a lot of grease leak by, because when I opened her up here, we're getting grease in the bearings. Just unfortunately, we leak 50% of it, but whatever. It is what it is. So I'm just kind of manually packing the bearings here, trying to spread the grease around a little bit more, just so I'm not wasting as much, but oh well, these grease tubes are pretty cheap, so if we waste a little grease, that's fine. Well guys, I tried to pump more grease through it, but it's just doing the same thing where 50% goes in, 50% comes out. I definitely just need a new chuck, but she's got enough grease in there now. Let's just wiggle this wheel back on and see what else needs to be done. I might call it for the night.